after the Savage left.
For about 3.
But people need to
and I'm an expert on Umar Johnson at this point. If
what's going on out
the American Greed, I'm sure they'll hit me up and see if they want to interview. But this right here was a WTF moment because there's quite a few things that take place in this particular video. Yeah, the gambling thing, that's a serious issue. Now, I'm going to tell y'all why. But there's even a deeper issue that we've been talking about here that a lot of people are in denial about. Gotta turn that heat down. I want y'all, this gambling thing, I'm going to tell y'all something because there's people who have sent me so much information on Umar Johnson over the years. And y'all let me know if my mic is scratching my shirt because one time I was live streaming and it was scratching and you can hear it going shh. I don't want the audio to be bad, so y'all let me know if that's a problem. People have sent me all kinds of information about Umar Johnson. Males, females, older, younger people. There was, I would think, this was probably about a year and a half ago. Someone sent me a message, was like, did you know that Umar, and they didn't phrase this way, because I can't even remember exactly what they said, but Umar Johnson, did you know that Umar Johnson has a gambling problem? And I didn't even respond back, but it just stuck in my mind. And then, how many of y'all have remember Umar Johnson posting these different messages on his Instagram, these memes where he's talking about gambling? Hit the one button. I remember one time there was the last Super Bowl he was talking, and there was another Super Bowl too a couple years ago, but the last Super Bowl he was talking about how, we want to get the HVAC done, so we're gonna try to put some money down on this football game. Look at all the ones inside the Cook Crush chat. Anyone who watch this later, check out the chat room. Look at all the ones in here. And that's not the only, because there's been other cases where he's posted, and I can actually go and pull it up. I just didn't have time, but we actually covered it in the past. Different times.
1,000 people are watching this video. So
when that person said that, there's no way that I can prove that to be the case. So I'm not going to speak and say, look, Umar has a gambling problem. Or even if he doesn't have even if it's not an addiction, he already got these other addictions, right? But even if it's not an addiction issue, the fact that he's a gambler, that's a problem because he doesn't have a job. He's not gainfully employed. He ain't got his own money. His money comes from donations. People say, yeah, well, he does lectures. We've been in COVID now for what, a year and 3-4 fucking months? He's begging people to find him venues. Who's paying for that shit? Who's paying for the traveling? So forth and so on. Who's paying for the hotel stays? Because he's been living out of a hotel, or he's living up in them trap bandos. Who's paying for him to eat out every single night? Who's paying for gas? So you can't say because he has an event and 15 fucking people show up and somehow he's making banks and he can fund his lifestyle. No, it's the donations. So if you're collecting and you're saying, brother, he's donating, hit my cash app, so forth and so on, and you're a gambler, that's a fucking problem. Meanwhile, he got a tax bill on these trap bandos that's about to be over $300,000. That's a problem. And he's been collecting money since he acquired the trap bandos for over 2 years and almost 4 months now. And he's been collecting money, saying that money is going to go towards renovations, and no renovations have taken place yet. I may have to amend my tier with Umar Johnson in terms of his addiction. He has the sex addiction, which is at the top. No, excuse me. He has the substance abuse addiction, which is at the top. Turn that heat down. He's admitted. He said, I'll get high at my shrine. Come on, people, stop. And then he has a sex addiction, and then he has a food. Gambling may be in here someplace. But I didn't report on that because there was no way that I could verify it. But see, that's why this particular video right here, this was a WTF moment because it proves that Umar Johnson does in fact gamble. And if you listen to what he says, you can tell that he gambles. Because he knows that he shouldn't be doing this, but he does it anyway, so he has to make it appear as if he doesn't gamble. Even though he's in the process of gambling. This is some crazy shit. This was a WTF moment for me. This is the video we're going to get into. Now, what's up, Very Perspective and Maddie? Thank you for being here. The 46 Liam says, Umar's cheekbones turn into greasy, droopy U-shapes when he's about to get into yet another. Yeah, I see it right there, though. You see the U? Right here? U, and here's another one. Now, there's something else, and it's going to be apparent right off of the bat, thanks the 46 minutes, it's going to be apparent to everyone right off of the bat. Okay, if you haven't seen this, this is one of those moments where I was like, really? Let's get into this video. And thanks for super chat, and everyone else too. Thanks for super chat. I appreciate it. Here we go. So by the way, let me say this: Umar is at an airport. I believe he was in Las Vegas, and I was out there not too long ago. What was that, about 2 years ago? I guess it is a long time goes by so quickly. And they have slot machines inside the airport.
What?
I thought that shit was strange. I'm like, what? Let's see what Umar Johnson is up to here. Check this out.
Black family, Vegas, I enjoyed you. Thanks for coming out. Kings, queens, elders, and youth. It was on October or November for the Nevada State Black Parent Know Your School Rights Boot Camp. Oakland is going down today. Oakland, today the Prince is back. 5 long years. Last visit was 2016, sold out, double lecture, just like Vegas. Today we will be at the Church of All Faiths in Oakland, Church of All Faiths, 2100 Fifth Avenue. 2100 Fifth Avenue. Black Parent Advocate book release, 550 pages of liberation information for the babies.
Told y'all. He sound like Stephen A. Smith and yelling and shit. Stephen A., calm your ass down, bro. Shit. And we gotta, why you always screaming? We don't want to hear all that, bro. We want to hear facts and stats, not your ass screaming. See, I told people with Umar what happens is whenever he catches a flight, he has to hit something. Now, I may not know much, but I know dope fiend activity and dope fiend behavior because I grew up around that shit. He has to hit something. Sometimes it's something that gives that downer, and sometimes it's an upper. It just depends for this guy. And this is an upper situation. I mean, he starts off like a WWF wrestler and shit, Hulk Hogan and shit. Well, you know me, and blinking and shit. And we don't, well, the babies, and he high as a kite. This is y'all boy. Good crush chat. This is y'all swirl girl Karen Holly B. What's up, Holly B? What's up, information man? What's going on, man? Good to see you in the house. Someone said Ric Flair. We're up here like Ric. Please start off like Ric Flair. Woo! I said, calm your ass down, bro. But he does. Cause see, what happens is that if you have a flight, see, Umar has these different issues, and one, he don't like being in the dark. We ain't talking about that. He don't like being in the dark. But he don't like being in cramped spaces. So he on that plane, this nigga has so he has to do an upper, he has to do a down. And every single time, I've said, we've already covered this. Every time he has he does one of these things where he's got a flight, he's either on extreme high or extreme low. But in this case, it's extreme high. And see, what's interesting about this is, even though
Umar, he's still see because he's anticipating getting over to the gamble. Y'all catch that? He even looking over like this. Because he gotta get over there. Watch. What's up, Black and All? Thanks for being here. Yeah, he tweaking real hard.
he started off Ric Flair and shit. Yeah, he Macho Man.
Macho Man.
Well, you gotta go, and I need you to run the door. That's a Umar. Remember, his voice ran out. He was at that talk, that speech, he was yelling and shit. And Grandpa's sister, bro, and I want Okay. What's up, Jill Scott says, Umar mustard gas too that's probably chasing his dream as a professional gambler. He needs to lay off them cookies and that mustard gas book. Yeah. See, I can't say for sure addiction, but he does gamble. And he's anticipating getting over there. If you guys watch him, because he even looks over,
he's antsy. He's not satisfied, even though he's high as a kite, because he's going to this other thing that he wants to get to, which is gambling. And see, as we play this, I'm going to break this down because you can tell he's trying to disprove to everyone that he doesn't gamble while he's gambling. That's like a fucking dope fiend. He over there on hitting that crack pipe, and he's trying to persuade you that he ain't on that crack. You see? Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. No, I know. I said, you on that shit, ain't you? No, I know. Oh, hold on. What you doing? You on that heroin? What you doing? No, I'm not. Hold on. You got I'm sorry. I accidentally made it play. Okay, let me stop. Thanks, Jill Scholar. Yeah, Umar wants to be a professional. He's not a professional school psychologist. He's a professional gambler. With other people's money. Oh, he's selling books. He buys the books because of people's money. They send him donations. Oh, man. Conscious Jedi says he recently said he would buy part without MG being open. If he invested them in a mutual fund 5 years ago, he wouldn't need to gamble. Yeah, but he could have put this into a mutual fund 11 years ago. And every single donation that comes in, just throw it in there. See, he's collected well over $2.5 million. Can you imagine what $2.5 million over the last, well, we can't put it that way because it's not like he collected $2.5 million over the last 11 years ago. But you get the point. If you invest that compound interest over the course of 11 years, meanwhile, no renovations are taking place. Thanks for Super Chat, Conscious Jedi. Also, thanks for Super Chat from the Geo Scholar. We got about 1,100 people in the building. If y'all hit the like button, I appreciate it. And this whole week, with movies, because I'm going to do other topics too. I want to get in, we got to get into this thing with Becky with the good hair. That shit's so funny. That's the thing about Kwame. He's hilarious. See, I was going to make this point when we get into the video. I was going to make this point. See, when he was a basketball player, I can't remember hearing him talk. So when he started talking, I was like, is this Kwame Brown? And he got that southern drawl thing. I appreciate that. I got a little of it myself. I try to hide that shit under it. Because my wife, she said, what are you saying? Even on here, I try to act like I ain't got it. I remember my job, like, yes. Okay, do what I need you to do. But that just goes to show you he had the self-discipline as a man to just hold on, make that money, take care of mama, and then get out of the league. What was he in the league? Oh, he was in the league for over a decade. That's not no scrub. That's some fucked up shit to say, Stephen A. Smith. And you talking about, and see, I didn't think about this shit, but he was talking about a teenager. When I talk about lack of fatherly compassion, you're going to call him a bust. Stephen A. Smith, your hairline's a bust, okay? And your hairline was drafted. Let me stop. I didn't say that because my hairline. But I ain't calling people bust about this shit. Umar, that's one thing. Umar and Stephen A. they have in common. They talk shit about black people all the time. That's all they do. Stephen A., you ain't got no business calling nobody a bust. This man made, I think it's like, I can't remember how many million. Someone posted inside of this Good Crush chat room. I mean, it is tens of millions of dollars. And he played in the league for, 10, 11 years. That's not no bust. And they drafted him. When they drafted him, what I think took place is they drafted him higher up with that first pick because they had plans to trade him. And if the other team finds value in that person, they're willing, okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll take this first pick and we'll trade you. That happens all the time. That's not what Stephen A.'s ass said. We're gonna cover that. No, yeah, it's true though. Umar,
hairline was probably pick number 250,000. But listen, Stephen A., what you need to do is to get that your hairline to bust, bro. What you need to do is stop sniffing too, by the way. You always sniffing. Yeah, well, the Lakers, what we need to do with the Lakers. And Molly, you see Molly Carey moving away from his ass. Stephen A. Sniff. Anyway, he do. I'll see this. Miss says, at this point, if people are donating, they're simply not doing their due diligence. Yeah, but see, I talked about this, Miss Smith, that a lot of these people who are sending Umar Johnson money, they are new. You see what happened? I already explained this a couple of weeks ago when he was on that Breakfast Club with these. Let me not say it. With DJ Envy and Charlemagne, that opened up a whole new group of people, because that's got what, almost 3 million views. A group of people that never heard of Umar Johnson, so they're gonna send him money. You see? Now, what you're talking about is people who continue to send this clown money, even though they 2 months now. They see what can we do? Over.
And those people who came to paint, the only reason why they were able to paint was because they were lawyer donors. So you gotta pay in order to paint. Can you believe this shit?
Thanks for that, Ms. Smith. Cryptonomics says if Umar would have bought Bitcoin, he could have had 10 schools by now. I'm gonna put my resume in to. I'm gonna put my resume in to be the official FNG investment advisor. Listen. Umar is not business savvy. He doesn't have a business plan. He doesn't understand investments either. What dope fiend? I'm sorry, I'm gonna put that. What dope fiend is thinking about the potential of generating revenue via investments? Because you have to think into the future of that. And we've already talked about that with Umar. He doesn't see into the future. Everything is right now. It's about what can I get right now. Run me that money. Run me my donations home. That's how he thinks. He doesn't think about future consequences, and he can't think into the future. That's why he has no organization skills. So if you came to Umar Johnson with an investment plan, and it was a surefire way for him to earn 10% over the course of 4 years, he's not going to see it as being something that is significant. If you said 15%, he's still not going to see it. You see 20, he's still not going to do it. That's why in this particular video that we're about to play, his need to gamble. See, the thing with gamblers is it's really an immediate need that they have. And see, at a certain point, it's not even about the potential of getting some money. You win some money. It's about all of the feelings that you have, the dopamine and the adrenaline rush. And so it's not even about the gambling part per se. It's about the addiction to what's taking place physiologically inside of their body, and that's no different than drug addicts. Because if you were a Braxton.
So forth and that's what they become addicted to. But see, with Umar Johnson, everything is an idea of a future, of an investment that's going to bring forth future rewards for him. He can't even conceptualize that. Now, if you can tell him, like, in this moment, if you give me $20, I'm going to give you 25, he'll get that. But long term, no, because long term. Everything is right here in the moment, and that's precisely how people who have different levels of addiction, that's how they think. Whether it's alcohol, right here in this moment. Okay. Next one, 35. You know what? That's a round number. That's the first $35 I done received. Okay? And I done received a lot of super chats over here, but that's the first time I got 35. Thanks, Cryptonomics. Umar don't have no investment strategy. He don't even know what if you think about, real quick, Cryptonomics, if you think about it,
even purchasing a property, that's an investment, right? And if in particular, well, it's all the way across the board, but in particular, if it's a commercial building, it's an investment. It should be a strong investment, especially if it's commercial. So then, therefore, cryptonomics, does it make sense as an investment to purchase these attached buildings in Wilmington for $400,000? After at that time he had collected well over $750,000. By his own admission.
Someone go around the camera.
You have another 2 years and 3 of him.
Tell them that it's going to cost millions of dollars, hear me, millions of dollars to get those buildings up to code, to get all the renovations taking place, to make sure that the inspectors come out, to make sure they got the HVAC working, to make sure they ain't got any HVAC right now, to make sure they have plumbing, ain't got no plumbing right now, ain't no running water. Hey, we're talking multi-million dollars. What sense does it make cryptonomics for Umar Johnson to take other people's money and then put it into this, quote unquote, I'll call it an investment vehicle, okay, even though it's a property, it's an investment vehicle in essence because the fact that this is a commercial building, you pay $400,000, but just to get it back up and running, it's going to cost him, what, $3-4 million just to get it up to code.
Damn! Jesus!
We're not even talking about being able to pay faculty and staff every single year. So that's why I'm saying, cryptonomics, even if you came to Umar with the investment deal of a lifetime, he would turn it down. Because he doesn't think like that. He doesn't think long term. That's why even him acquiring these crap bundles, he wasn't thinking long term. It was just an immediate moment, a spur of the moment. I gotta get something. GoFundMe's refunding people this money. I gotta get something. Impulse. And see, if you're going to invest, and if you're going to invest, you can't be like that. You have to be able to wait things out. You also have to be able to strategize.
And the kids gonna work it anyway. I bought we got 1,100 people in the building. If y'all hit the like button, I appreciate it. Again, thanks for cryptonomics. Also have PayPal down below as well as Cash App. The starting 5 podcasts, Snip Flair, Macho Man, Scabby Savage. Okay, generate a field goal. People ain't gonna get that one, but I got that one. Generate a field, Goldberg, and the Prince of Man. That's one thing, Umar, he sure know how to get on an airplane, don't he? Can you imagine sitting there Umar there, and you're on the plane with Umar, and you sitting next to him? Start scratching his chin and sniffing. Then he started asking you for money. Hey, you got $5? I said, huh? What you need $5 for? We on a plane, bro. What you need $5 for? Oh, I gotta get me. He starts slapping his inner thigh and shit. What you need $5 for on a plane, bro? Anyway, okay. Okay. Real quick, because you put the starting 5 out. Umar Johnson. Great young player, too. Listen, people will give credit for credit. Dude, this young guy, if he stays on this trajectory, and it's possible that he will, he's going to end up being a top 10 player of all time. People, how can you say that? No, he will be a top 10 player of all time. If he stays on this trajectory, he's still young, he still has room for growth. But what I want to get to here is, he's been getting all these technical fouls, and he just be acting up. You hear Stephen A. Smith talking shit about him.
You hear Charles Barkley talking shit about it? Yeah.
Shit out of that guy. You see the double standard? See, that's what Polly Brown is speaking about, and it's true. It is so very true. And you guys know I don't play the race card because listen, it is a problem, people. You know, I have to deal with it. We all have to deal with it. A lot of people are in denial about it, but it does happen. It is what it is. But I can't use it as an excuse. But I will, in this case, it is very, very apparent, and there's nothing wrong with stating that fact, that there's a double standard. And the main people who go after these black athletes are black men. You guys go and watch baseball. Mainly, you have white males. You know, you have people from the Dominican and places like that. You got very few, these days at least, there's not a high percentage of black male athletes playing baseball. And there's reasons for that in terms of social economic standing. I mean, it's cheaper to be able to play basketball where you come from than to play baseball. Just like it's cheaper to play baseball than it is to play golf. Okay? Football is more accessible. You can play football inside the street. Or, you know, you got to have a whole bunch of equipment or whatever. That's when you just go throw the ball in the street. We didn't play a lot of baseball. We played baseball. Just, you know, get a broomstick and somebody get a ball, and we just, you know. But in terms of as an organized sport, baseball, at a certain point, you got to have the facilities for that shit. You got to have the gloves. You got to have the proper bat. I'm not a broomstick. You also have to have a big field in the hoods. You tend not to have that type of shit. You have a basketball court, maybe 4 rims or 4 baskets. You know, so what I'm getting at is that in baseball, you don't see a high percentage of black athletes. I mean, there are some, but not a high percentage compared to, let's say, in football and basketball. But here's the thing. You guys go and listen to these white analysts and so forth when they talk about baseball players. Who be fucking up? Do they go in like Stephen A. Smith does for black males? Don't be fucking up to extreme degrees. No, they don't do that. Why? Because there's a level of respect. But there's also a level of fatherly compassion. Stephen A. Smith doesn't have either for young black males, young black athletes. And his career is based on that shit. I was watching this video today, and I just the comments that he was making. Anyway, Umar's the same way. All he do is talk shit about black people, especially successful black, especially black athletes too, by the way, because he's non-athletic. Mr. Controversy, what's that man says? Did you all see the clown Umar on Fox Soul? Yeah, I saw that. But that was with Jesse Lee Peters. No, Jesse Lee Peters, and he's like a troll though. Most of the shit he say, he don't even believe it. Umar, then they start calling each other names and shit. I was like, come on now. Okay. If that's the in, and then for Super Chat, Mr. Controversy also got Super Chat from Lowe's. He said, I remember when you and Mike, I remember when you would make a change for disclosing his tax situation when nearly 60K was owed while he was claiming tax exemption. Now he's about to be, it'll be over $300,000 unless he's paid something all the checks. But it's going to be over $300,000.
$300,000, Jesus.
And it's not just
on taxes, Jesus.
Brother there, King Kong Crazy, he broke a lot of that information. There's other people too. But yeah, he's talking about he's tax exempted on now. This guy, he's such a scam. And he still has no money. See, that's going to be huge. We got about, what, a month and a week before that paperwork should be available online for us to take a look at. In the meantime, what's Umar doing? He's up here gambling and shit. And on a book tour. Thanks, Lo. Thanks for being here too, bro. Okay, I think I'm all kind of, okay, let me get to this one. Let me get back to the video. Gio Scott says, Umar isn't science savvy either. This is why I call him Mustard Gas Tuesday. He's an adrenaline junkie. Why do you think he talks about...
Let me interrupt, I know it's gonna go kind of long on the second one. Yeah, the man breaks it down, and that it makes you think. I mean, I don't know about the gambling part, because like you say, you don't know, there's no proof of that. But the way his mentality, Umar Johnson's mentality is, I mean, he's spot on. The way his attitude, the way his reaction is, and the way he's questioning, and as I showed in the previous video, how the way he responded. One of the YouTubers on the previous video showed him how he reacted to the interview. And he's like, man, you just chill out, man. And what the young man said, he said he was kind of defending him more. Like, he was just saying, hey, because sometimes, some people can be petty about stuff, but and I agree when he said that. That don't look a good look. You're trying to get money. You go on a regular podcast, talk show on radio, 105 and Park, I think, not Park, but that one, like Charlamagne the God. You get his listeners and these other podcasters. You're trying to get money for your school, and you turn around and you do stuff like that. And then he films himself all the time. I mean, every moment. I mean, I can see you going on the video saying, "Hey, look, this is how much money we got." Letting your listeners know that this is how much progress we made so far. But he said August 21st. It's going into June, so you got 2 months to really, which is not much amount of time to really get this stuff going. And the way he go about doing it is just that it's crazy, man. That's what he was pointing out. But so far, he got 1,049 people watching this video. Then I said, a couple of videos I watched, they're gonna go in on him, man. And he's not the only one. There were two or three other people at that point made their commentary. Even somebody like the young man in the last video, he thought people were making too much out of it, because he kind of support Umar. But when he said what he said, that was true. It's not a good look. And you're trying to get donations and stuff, and then if you find like you're not getting donations, then you need to find some other source to get the income, and let all that prize stuff go, man, because it's not looking good. And people paying attention. And every time when he goes in these certain places, there's some people he don't know. He goes to the people that they don't know and trying to get an audience. But sooner or later, people are going to catch up. Like I said before, it's said and done. His own mouth is his own destruction. His actions, what he do. So that kind of makes people think, well, damn, if you have a casino, that's not looking good. And then he was saying about him being, I didn't know Vegas had an airport had a casino. But you never know. You can film that part, but that does give you kind of wondering. Is there some kind of gambling habit that he has? I don't know about the drug habit. I don't know, because maybe guys, we don't know about sinus infection. I'll give that benefit of the doubt. But he did make some excellent points. And that's why I say he got a lot of subscribers. Lenny Homer, he got a lot of subscribers. So when he come on, I mean his algorithm and stuff goes up talking about him. And I mean he did that documentary on him. I was like, damn. He broke it down and edited that film, so I'm like, damn. I mean everybody saw that video. I'm documentary on Umar Johnson, and it was as David Carroll said, it was a masterpiece. It was good. I mean, his biography on on him was like, it was spot on. And but the reason why, because I, just as I said that, showing up the next day, I see you pop on the YouTube feed, 3 or 4 people got videos on Umar Johnson already. The latest is with this Kwame fella, Kwame Brown, was said about him from this well-known athlete. That's what he was talking about. But yeah, now that this, he stepped back into play. Yeah. But it's like I said, his own mouth is his own destruction. And that's the truth. Oh shit. I don't know how this bug got in here. I got a bug in my house. Hold on 1 minute. I don't know how. So I'm sitting here. All of a sudden, I look like I don't think it was like lightning bugs. Must have got in my place. But so he screwed up, man. He screwed up big time. Now it's really gonna set people back. It's gonna have even, and I bet you there's some people that maybe did, that had to, who was sending money, have to be wondering. Okay, we're sending money. How come, at some point you're gonna see some progression? Because I'm thinking if you was make some progression on it, and probably analyze it, and then like he said, you need to be like the one young guy said, and I agree with him, you need someone to hold you accountable of where the money's at. There's no one holding him accountable for it. So that, they're making sure that the money is spent, and then other people can show them that, yeah, this is where the money is going. Then that way you won't have so many people saying that, hey, but this is starting to draw questions, and he's not the only one. There's other people. I mean, it was 2 divisions of people. It was people that support Umar, and there's some people that they call the anti-fraud warriors. And I mean, it was just going a big drama going back and forth on this other hand. But and it all started out, because this guy, he made this documentary on him, man, and about his public life and how long he been doing this and how long he goes on these different shows, man. And Umar's come off very intelligent, talk about different topics with children and politics and stuff like that. But then this other side, when he shows something like that, like what the heck? Is this the same person that was talking very intellectually and this is what I'm saying. But I'm showing out what the YouTubers is just showing you how many YouTubers are pointing this out from other people's channels, going to YouTube feed and what their opinion is on it is. And they making good, they make good sense on this. So, I mean, really, it's embarrassing. And I was watching something earlier about something with in another sector over on the continent of Africa, these Pan-Africanists in the Pan-African community, and they was getting investors to go over there, and it was a group of people, about 55 investors. I was watching this earlier, got took about some guy that this guy who was a Pan-Africanist. He had people on the channel his name probably dies that Samir. One of his guests who comes online, Lou Majors, they were talking about him earlier and how the company that he had, it was 55 people, and they did the interview earlier. There's about 4 people talking about that. You know, and I know there's a segment of black people say, "Why come we can't come together?" It's not that as black people can't come together, but the people you come together with, you gotta make sure that they have good intentions. Like anybody, you know, because no matter if it's somebody from a different community of people, you don't want anyone taking the money and run, and they jack-legging you around, and they use these subconscious things, and you know. So, well, yeah. I mean, I can show you the YouTube feed on this, man. It's crazy. And it's various people dumping their opinion. But yeah, but when he made that video, about 3 or 4 videos went up. Like the ones that I've seen so far, and it's probably people yet to hit the YouTube feed. And so when you online all the time doing what Umar did, and you know you got distractors and contractors coming at you, why would you do something like that? You know, why would you tell people you're gambling? You know what I'm saying? You try to line something up. You try to go on a talk show and you turn around and you do something like this, and like the young brother said, it don't look good, man. You know, you got people get people to wondering. I mean, just don't. You really use no wisdom, man. The man don't use no wisdom. But hold on, I'm gonna give you another side to this. I'm gonna show you. He's at this conference in Las Vegas that this person recorded. I'll show this in a minute. There's a commercial going on right now. But yeah, it's just, hey man. People gonna start wondering after a while. He's gonna start dwindling because it's not gonna look good, because no one's going to cohabit someone's bad habit, and that's just the truth.
And that is because my message, some of which you're going to hear about today, for all my parents
sabotage, in the hate, in the slanders, in the gossip? What keeps you keeping on? And I would answer that by saying, my self-belief that I was born to do this work. Some people come to black consciousness for a lot of different reasons. Some come because the white man pulled the chair out from under them and they fell on the floor. And so they embrace black consciousness as a reaction to being rejected by the white power struggle. And these types of big ropes are dangerous because if you only came home because the white man rejected you, if he sends you another invitation, you might go back to him. Other brothers and sisters come to consciousness because their economic situation helped out from under them. Others come to consciousness as a result of going through the stripes and struggles of being on the streets, which is fine. Others come to consciousness as a result of being around other conscious brothers. There's nothing wrong with that either. But for me, I came to it as a child, 4th grade, in elementary school, North Philadelphia, and I've never left. So the degrees never changed me because ever since I was 9, I believe I was meant to play a role in the liberation of African people. And when I found out I was related to Frederick Douglass around the 6th grade, that solidified that for me.
Hi, this is attorney and investor Bob.
Now, I noticed that you started the order process with a family dynamic, but you can also look at income. I know you could also look at numbers of that. But I thought maybe you had a few questions that just held you back. So what I want to do is go over the three. Are you not going to answer the questions? He doesn't have these. I can answer them. Question number 1: is there too much competition? Well, there's not too much competition. Here's why. We get this.
Umar Johnson is successful black people. Umar Johnson is the same way. See, a lot of that shit with Stephen A. Smith is just jealous.
And these monies have often been on the list for 12, 24 years.
He didn't make it as an NBA player. He's mad. And see, the type of money that these athletes are making now compared to even back when Stephen A's clown ass, when he had a chance. A lot of these guys, that's the issue. It's the money thing. It's the levels of success. But Umar Johnson's the same thing. That's why he's always talking shit about black athletes. He's talking shit about rappers. He's talking shit about politicians. Barack Obama, he hated Barack Obama. Barack Obama could shit pearls, and Umar Johnson find something negative to say. Umar, did you see Barack Obama? He shit pearls. Yeah, but he's married to a white woman.
September of 2011, tens of thousands of dollars just
what?
Out there. And let's face it, if there was too much competition, we simply wouldn't see
Umar, Steph Curry, he just broke the 3-point record again that he set 2 years ago. Yeah, but isn't his wife a white?
The lists are the perfect back. The second question we often get is, wait a minute, Bob, won't the
That's how he is. That's Umar, he's like that. But again, he hasn't established success as a patriarch whatsoever to this day, whether it's within a family institution, whether it is within a community organization. Remember when he was with the what was it, the UNIA or whatever? That was a whole shit show about that. We covered that. As an organizer, he hasn't established anything. And obviously up at this school, he ain't no patriarch. Who is it? Who getting Ray? They come up there on the roof with some house shoes. Anyway, thanks, Aisha. That's right. I'm speaking now. That's right. Yeah. What's up, swell girls in the house and Nike and medicine? What you mean I'm an old head? What you talking about? I ain't that old. I'm a man. Come at me. See, well, let me stop. We get into Kwame Brown more this coming week. I'm sorry. All right, 70 bit. I'm sorry. You all, I just 30 bit like run your mouth. You're right about that.
Get to the video.
Here, let's get into this. Here you go, 70 bit. I know you've been waiting. Here you go. All right, here we go. You guys are haters. fans, my big old belly. she like.
This is an absolutely amazing business. If you have the chance to get
I know you ain't going in that kid.
the house,
Let's go. Let's get into it. I'm sorry.
if you don't get involved,
Performance, that's me,
it
bro.
lasts forever, and this was like never again. You don't close off.
See, quick crunch time. Y'all be doing me. Y'all be just doing me wrong.
Once you get checks, like the ones that you see on the screen. Checks
You gotta be hating. That's fine. Let's go.
Remember, our students are typically getting
Yeah, she mad at the belly, but ain't nothing she can do about it.
across each way. How much different?
It's coming in strong. Okay, let's go. Here we go.
30 or 40%.
I say, is there a video tonight? That's a good one, though. That's a good one. Someone. Stop it. Is that unibrow today?
Instant access
I thought Umar played for the Lakers.
electronic access to the training.
Okay, all right, here we go. Let's go. I'm sorry. All right.
Vegas, I enjoyed you. Thanks for coming out. Kings, queens, elders, and youth. It was all October or November for the Nevada State Black Paranoia School Rights Boot Camp. Oakland is going down today. Oakland, today the Prince is back. 5 long years. Last visit was 2016, sold out, double lecture, just like Vegas. Today we will be at the Church of All Faiths in Oakland. Church of All Faiths, 2100 Fifth Avenue. 2100 Fifth Avenue. Black Parent Advocate book release, 550 pages of liberation information for the babies. Crush special ed, crush ADHD, crush conduct disorder, crush cookies, ODD, crush exposure, crush cookies, diagnosis, crush medication. Oaktown, the Prince is back. West Coast Ifatunde. West Coast Ifatunde. West Coast Ifatunde. I'm feeling good today.
He's on the up, he's feeling good, but you see how he's answering, he keeps looking over because he can't wait to get to that slot machine. Watch.
I don't gamble, but we need about $1 million.
Look at that lady in the back, she's like, oh shit.
And the fact that only I
You see her point pacing?
thousands of sizes.
She's like, we got one. They was probably on that walking.
Massachusetts because of
And
inflation.
we have one standing over there by section 5.3A. He's live streaming right now. We're watching him as a matter of fact. And guess what? He needs to gamble. Can you get over there? she come over here pacing and said, you look at her.
One of our specialists.
They know they can pick him. What?
I'm feeling good today. I don't gamble, but we need about $1.5 million for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy.
So listen, let's get this right. Now he's saying he needs $1.5 million. What? First I remember one time he said he 250,000, and one time he said he 300,000, then he said 600,000. Now it's $1.5 million. $1.5 million just out of the blue? How is that possible, bro? He just arbitrarily throw these numbers out, but there's something else about this. Now Yank, what's up, man? Says Kwame spent his first 7 years getting yelled at by Michael Jordan and Kobe and came out of it relatively sane. Stephen A. Smith slandered Kwame instead of the real culprit, GM Michael Jordan. Yeah, but see, Kwame Brown broke that down too, bro. We're going to be covering this over the next week, and I'd like for you to call in because I heard you talking on this. It's a fascinating situation that's taking place here. It's really fascinating. It's also inspirational in my opinion. It's very inspirational because Kwame, he don't give a fuck. And he's not tied to like an organization or a job where he can't say certain things. He can say whatever the fuck he wants to, and that's what he's doing. And he's courageous. He's fearless. So he's coming out of high school and he has to deal with Michael Jordan. And listen, people, I'm one of the biggest Michael Jordan fans on the planet. That's why my hair don't grow in, because I said, shit, I want to look like him. I told myself when I was young, I said, if I get a bald head, Lord, if you can make, and that's what, see, Michael Jordan, he's an asshole. He is. If you go watch that documentary and you see how he's treating his teammates, and he was calling one of his teammates a hoe. He's like, "Go on, hoe." I said, "Shit." See, Umar Johnson. Michael Jordan. He was raised in a type of situation where that was taking place, where the insults were very pervasive. And I grew up in a household where it was the same way. You just be talking shit about each other, and you ain't shit, and look at your nappy hair and that type of shit. Michael Jordan grew up in the same type of dynamic. So once he gets on the basketball court, it plays itself out. And if you go and listen, and it's called The Last Dance, and you go listen, I'm sure they cut a lot of shit out, but if you listen to how he's treating his teammates, he was an asshole. Now, part of the reason why he was able to have such high levels of success was, in fact, because he was an asshole. He just didn't give a shit. It didn't matter who you was as a person. If you weren't going to be able to participate in the game and assist him in winning, then fuck you. That's how he was. And there are people who are cutthroat like that. A lot of successful people are like that. And I'm not saying it's right or that it's wrong. But what I'm getting at is, can you imagine Kwame Brown coming into the league, being drafted really to be traded, and then he spends those years in Michael Jordan's, and I've even seen Michael Jordan with more recently with some of the players up he's an owner now. I wasn't gonna say own, and he's berating them. One time he went up to one of the young men and he hit him up the side of the back of his head. That's the owner. You let a white owner do that to one of these black athletes, and it'd be all hell break loose. Black power, what about Black Lives Matter? Yeah. But can you imagine that Kwame, he spends his first 7 years dealing with Michael Jordan, and then he goes over to the Los Angeles Lakers. And it's true. Listen, Kobe in a lot of ways, he was like Michael Jordan. He mimicked Michael Jordan. That couldn't have been easy. That's why him and Shaquille couldn't get along. Okay? God rest his soul too, by the way, Kobe. That messed me up. But yeah, he comes out relatively sane. He remains quiet. And Stephen A. Smith slandered Kwame from the get-go. You see? But MJ had a lot to do with how things turned out. Kwame Brown, he actually talked about that. And he also said, how is it possible that Stephen A. Smith didn't know that? He's supposed to be the investigative reporter. Rachel Nichols didn't know that. She's supposed to be the investigative reporter. ESPN don't know that, how he was selected number one to be traded. All right. Thanks for some chat, bro. Let me just see here. Let's see. Matrice says, have you heard of King Ronnie? Yes, I have. He's a young brother and he's doing things. Umar, on the other hand, he's much older. He's received a lot more support over the last 11 years. He ain't done shit. Now he up here in the airport tweaking and shit about the gamble. And live streaming it. Brian says, no popcorn for yeah. I want some popcorn tonight. I really do. I wouldn't mind having some popcorn. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. I'm going to put your name in the fucking big road. Like that. Y'all know what the fucking big road is? That's the war. That has all my haters in it. Every last one you can think of. All the YouTubians. Part of his level of success in the regular. And everybody else. And they gonna come crawling up to the front of our school because it's not mine, it's ours. And they gonna come crawling up to the front of the school saying, Doc, I'm sorry. Can't come in, brother. Yeah, I know. Because even if you disagree, you can't get mouth shut. You didn't have to sabotage and undermine. It's one thing to say, I don't trust Dr. Umar. It's one thing to say, I believe in Dr. Umar. It's one thing to say, I think he's spending all the money. And keep that to yourself as an opinion. But once you put it on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and once you make 1,000 videos a week, you understand? At that point, you became a public opposer to saving our children from the psychoactive Holocaust. And that became tolerant. So what is the psychoactive Holocaust, black parents and black community? It's 6 stages that America created to destroy all masculine African children. The girls too. But Dion says, tweaking and gambling that record. Stage 1 is education. It is intentional. It is not an accident. It is on purpose.
And I need you to understand that the miseducation of black children in Nevada is intentional. It doesn't happen because the father's not in the home. It doesn't happen because he's in jail. It doesn't happen because the mother's not married. It doesn't happen because he likes basketball. It doesn't happen because he listens to gangster rap. It happens because the American white power structure cannot let the black boy compete equitably with the white one.
If you're not a gambler, you're not going to be taught.
It's about preserving white privilege.
You're not going to be
And
taught.
because the miseducation of our children is about preserving white privilege, the schools have to pay.
Let me show you.
I need some water, Mr. Freedom.
Let me show you.
You got it.
Notice he's standing there.
Yeah, he didn't touch his water,
He
right?
couldn't wait till he comes. You got a problem.
City that hill to the top. I gotta be
Put
careful.
this phone in here, right? That's
I gotta be careful.
It's anticipatory.
A mic.
We
All
about
right.
to get us some money for the front.
Oh, and look,
In the body.
in here there's $1.2 million. That's probably why he came up with the 1.5 million for the guard. You see this shit? That's why I was asking, how does he arbitrarily come up with the figure on 1.5 million for the guard? Look right here, it says $1.2 million. Umar Johnson is tripping. Can you believe this guy?
But I'm ready when
He
you
said
are.
before,
But
he
brothers
had
and
a million.
sisters,
Now he- yeah, I know, it's crazy.
the miseducation preserves the white privilege.
October 2018.
I need you to get that. Which is to say, as long as we let our kids get educated by white folks or their curriculum, we'll never catch up.
All these years,
Because your enemy
still significantly
is never going to prepare you in the art of taking their power and domination away from you.
That's crazy.
That's never going to happen.
He's sniffing and blinking.
So until we build our own schools for our own children, our babies will always be set behind me.
For this body, it's greedy ass. We go for 1.5.
Protecting white privilege. So that's why they don't say American teachers are white women.
Gamblers.
The white woman plays a very important role in the destruction of black male masculinity because her job is to psychologically disarm the victim.
If you're tired of reading about other people getting rich in the stock market, this might be a card. And here, look at Umar. He's supposed to be got his open up his school. And he's waiting to get to the slot machine. He is. When he's talking, that's why he's. He can't wait. And see, I told people earlier, anyone who tuned in late, we got about 1,100 people in here. A while back, someone sent me a message and said that one of Umar, because we were talking a lot about the money situation and where's the money going, and someone said that Umar has a gambling problem, but I didn't say anything because I can't. If I can't confirm it, I'm not going to talk about it. Here we are all these months later, and Umar up here gambling, he's live streaming this shit. But Harley B, and thanks for watch how Umar he tries to spin this because he wants to explain what he's doing. He can't stop himself from doing it, so he has to explain it away. Watch this; it's really interesting. Now, real quick, Mr. Controversy says Umar looked like the type of guy that get on top of women and do his bit. Like Mr. from Color Purple was asked by a woman how it feels. She said, like, "Oh God, yeah, that's too much, bro." Yikes. Okay, let's continue. Watch this.
Richard Douglas Marcus called me Academy. We about to get some money. I need that 1.2 right there. Y'all see that? That's what we need. That's what we need, that 1.2 mil. Y'all see that? That will get the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, the whole campus.
See this? Now we see. Now he's saying 1.2 will get the whole campus. This is fascinating, is it not? So first, Umar, let me put this in here. First, Umar said 1.5 million for the Garvey building. Then Umar said 2 million for the whole campus. then Umar said, or that would also imply that 500,000 for, what is this, the Frederick Douglass building. And then, now he's saying 1.2 million for the whole campus. You see this guy? Here, let me put that in there, people, just so I can remind everyone in a moment. It says Umar playing those sucker machines at the front door. Yeah, he is. Because see, that it's like when you go into a store and you go and you're about to check out, they always have the candy and shit that you really don't need. I mean, yeah, just all kind of bullshit. And it's called impulse buying. Right? Actually, we studied that in macroeconomics. Not macroeconomics. I took a course in e-commerce, but they was talking about the differences in terms of a storefront or what they call it, a brick and mortar versus online. And they talked about some of these concepts of people's purchasing habits. And one of the purchasing habits is when you start to check out, you see all this, and so your impulse is to buy something else. And if it's sweet, if it's bright, you see that it's brightly colored, so that you get your attention. And your children, they be like, "Oh, Mom, can I have a candy bar? Can I have a candy bar?" And then you get it just to shut their ass up. Here, just shut up. Just be quiet. Well, that's the same thing with these slot machines. You about to get on a plane. This is a good point, man. You about to get on a plane, so Umar, he's going to play those sucker machines at the front door. That's exactly what it is. Good call. That's exactly what it is. All right, let's continue. So again, he said 1.5 for the Garvey building. Then he said 2 million for the whole campus. Then he said 500,000. Well, it would imply 500,000 for the Frederick Douglass building. And then now he's saying the whole campus is $1.2 million. So which one is it, Umar? You all over the place, bro.
This will take care of the whole campus family. This will take care of the whole campus family. That 1.2, that will take care of the whole campus. So we're going to do Wheel of Fortune, Ifatunde style. We're going to do Wheel of Fortune, Ifatunde style. Now, y'all got to help me out because I don't know how to gamble. And I see all kind of shit.
This is sad. This is so sad. And see, he's saying, I don't know how to gamble because he knows how to gamble. That's why he's saying, see, this is his way. See, he can't stop himself from doing this. It's an impulse buy, as it were. It's the candy bar before you check out. It's the slot machines before you head out the door. And he can't help himself. And you can tell he has to gamble right now. And he's tweaking already. So he has to get. And so he wants to explain it to people why I'm about to do what I don't do. Just like the people that spoke that. Where you going, bro? Where you going with that VCR? I'm not going to smoke it. I'm not going to smoke it. Then they go get that money, go smoke. Hit that crack. But they always explain to you that that's not what they're going to do. They explain to you, I'm taking this over to Mama's house. Back up. No, Gator. Gator, stop. You know damn well you ain't taking my back to Mama's house. You just took it out of her house. Her house is that way. You going that way down another block. I know where you going. So here's Umar is. He's trying to explain to y'all because he ain't explaining this to me because I know what it is. He didn't want to explain to me.
They used to do the same thing with the dope, black males. Charles Barkley white, and James Rose is white, and all these other ones. To psychologically disarm you and also economically neutralize you. Because a black millionaire with a white woman will never use those dollars for revolutionary purposes. The white woman is brilliant in her ability to make black males think she empathizes with. That's her job. And the white male does the same thing with the black female. He gets inside the mind of the black woman and makes you think she really cares about you. It's the same man that is raping your grandmother for 4 centuries with all of the stuff. He cares about you. But you notice they only care up until a point. white supremacy and say, I understand black folks, and then drive his privileged white ass back home to a gated community in the suburbs, and if he sees anything black outside of his house at night, won't hesitate to dial 911, 12 hours after he told you how much he loves black folks. White people are masters of mental manipulation, but let me not give them too much credit. Let me not give your oppressor too much credit, because if you were not still in love with him, it would be difficult for him to manipulate you. It is your desire to be accepted by your oppressor that makes it difficult for you to do anything about your oppression. So let's get back to these 6 stages in the psychoactive Holocaust. So they miseducate the black people. The white woman's job, psychological disarmament. And then after they just educate the black kids, they then come with the special education. Now black parents, I'm a little angry at you guys. I've been looking at some of the Las Vegas special ed numbers, and they're very high for black children. You parents in here are screwing up by letting these white folks evaluate our children. Stop doing it. White people have no business evaluating black folks. You take your child to a white psychologist to solve problems that white people create. How does that happen? How does that work? The psychologist can't cure you or save you, because the diagnosis is racism. You're angry, why? Because of racism. You went to jail, why? Because of the lack of opportunities. Racism. You don't have a man in the house, why? Because of massive war against black masculinity. Racism. Is the psychologist going to do anything about that? Hell no. In fact, psychology helped you create racism. It was the psychologists who invented segregation, who invented white genetic superiority, African inferiority. The word eugenics is a psychology concept. The word special ed is a psychology concept. They invented it. How the hell do you want to take it back? Special ed, invented by act of U.S. Congress, 1975. Public Law 94-142, the Education for All Handicapped Children Act. The Education for All Handicapped Children Act. Why did they give us special ed in 75? Because of Brown versus Board in 64. They said you can't use race as a factor in the schools no more. So white folks lost their minds. And from 1954 to 1974, we saw the largest growth in independent private schools in American history. You know why? The minute they said they had to desegregate, white folks pulled their kids out and opened their own schools. The private school industry was a result of school desegregation. And then what you do is you go chase the white folks out to the suburbs and pay $15,000 a year for your child to become a master of Christopher Columbus, Helen Keller, and Anne Frank.
Oh boy. What can I say about that one? Woo! I'll let you be judge of that one. That's part of his lecture. That's just, that goes to show you what he's telling people at his lecture. I just recorded too much. I didn't want to go along, but we'll just get it what he's telling people. And there might be some truth with that, but wow. He used the analogy about interracial relationship with people who have money. People who, Wow. We'll break down too much longer. Then I don't want to bore you guys. Now, he said it. So that's what kind of person we should listen to when you go to his lectures. He's talking about the system. He's talking about white people, people with interracial relationships. You heard it. It come out of his own mouth. It come out of his own mouth. And his old saying goes, oh, I know everybody got their own saying. Like the one guy said, at the end of the day, it is what it is. My saying goes, what you see is what you get. So, as the old back in, I don't know, it was the 60s, 70s, saying, what you see is what you get. So that's what black folks, some black folks are following. That's what they're getting. That's what they get. And but he breaking it as analogy down on him, spot on. I mean, it was amazing, man. And did you see the part about him saying he need the money? He need the money for this, and he need the money for that. Now he's saying that in the one you only heard the video where people, these YouTubers like Lynn Honor and other people are going to be begging to come once they get the school up and running. And you heard what Lynn Honor said. He needs 300,000. But he ain't telling these people in Vegas about that and other places. So how they hating on him when he owe all this money? They got his tax imposition on the building because that's public record. The renovation, and he was saying just it can cost up a couple $1 million just to get it completely up and functional. He ain't even there yet. And but people going on YouTube, his distractors are hating on him, and he believes he's the person going to lead black people. But that's what when they come to your city is about. It's not, instead of focusing on the things, he blames on other people instead of getting right to the root of the problem. Goes on in his tangent about ain't no black athletes with white women going to help you and all this stuff like that. It's just, some stuff is just like, wow. And like he was pointing out, he don't like someone who's successful than him doing better than he doing. And he pointed that out. And I mean, it's obviously that's what you heard that in the lecture. So it sounds like it's like a bit of jealousy because he's trying at the same time to compete with people who already is successful at what they do. And like I said, one video I said one time, if you want a legacy, you gotta do it right. But tearing down other people to create your own legacy, it's not the way to go about doing that, because they're succeeding at something that they probably, however their talent, their gifted, put them in position to do. That's not mature. So he's not even mature enough and he's presenting this to people. When he's making this adjustment, what does someone's personal life, who they marry, who they got a date, to do with that? Well, this is what the people are paying for. This is what they're supporting.
Now, y'all got to help me out, because I don't know how to gamble. And I see all kind of shit. I do. Okay? Cash out, service. We got to play, family. Y'all think I'm playing? How do we play this? How do we, one line of credit? We need this right here. We need this 1.2 to Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. We need this 1.2. Do I want one line of credit? Repeat the bet. So what is this? I gotta put my credit.
Dang. But that's what the young man was talking about on this previous video. Now he just got done. Now you tell me
Level of incompetence with this guy.
the people now the people. I will show you something. Do you think the people who's listening to his lecture know about this?
Some white girl for the prom, or your daughter wants blue contacts permanently. You call up Dr. Umar, what's wrong with my child? You, because you stuck them in a self-hate incubator. You stuck your child in a self-hate incubator for 12 years, 6 years, 4 years. And wonder why they came out wanting to be white. Because the purpose of education is to deify European culture and thought. The purpose of education is to deify European culture and thought. They don't teach our kids how to think. They teach them how to worship white people. Show me a school in Las Vegas that doesn't teach black kids how to worship white people. Even the Afrocentric schools are teaching how to worship white people. You got a whole army of black teachers with dashikis on with a blind head full of weed. What the hell is that? And that's why, at the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy, ladies, gentlemen too, because I heard your brothers wear gold out here doing their hair. I'm thinking with you. You cannot work at that school with a weave or a perm or European hair color. We will not tolerate it. 100% unapologetically African Academy. Because before you can change anything else about the black child or mind, you have to change the way they think about themselves. Michelle Obama, Condoleezza Rice, these are good examples of black women, well-educated, successful according to European standards, a total failure by African cultural standards. If you don't love yourself, you have been miseducated. I don't care how much money you make. Kamala Harris got on TV last week and said America isn't a racist country. And this is who y'all vote y'all next in November to go vote. You were standing up in a
Indian Arab, their power is founded on the foundation of their dollar. We want black power without an organized black dollar. You'll never get that. Why is Joe Biden ignoring black folks? Because Joe Biden can ignore black folks because you're the only people in America who vote just because you have a right to do it. You're the only people in America who vote because the Negro bourgeoisie tells you to. You're the only people in America who vote without first getting some campaign pledges before you cast that vote. You have to change the way you function. I'm in total support of a no vote for black people this coming presidency election. Show them the power by not giving it to them. Talking about my ancestors died for me to vote, that's a lie.
I'm in Amsterdam, which is without a doubt the cannabis capital of the world, and that's because of the enormous, almost
Okay, Peter. I'm not going to bore you with the more of that. It's been one video kind of long. But I just want to show you. There were some good points in the video, what he was saying, and there was some points that was really unnecessary. First of all, you don't know what other Afrocentric schools, what they teach. And again, what a woman does with her hair, that should be her business. Why is that even relevant? But that's his mentality. People, you see how many people clap? I'm showing a few people that clap in the audience. So that's what a few knuckleheaded people is on the amen list. So that tells you what kind of people, that shows you where their mentality is at. It's all talk. Excuse me, I'm sorry. It's all talk, but it's really no instruction solution on, okay, this is what your son need. This is what all it is. White people, European standards. Okay, well, it might be in some cases. Now that you see it's a problem, what is the solution? What is the permanent solution? What is the diagnosis solution? That's what, as a psychologist and all, what is the solution? You can run all that off, but what is the solution to the black child? Oh, these innuendos about this and that and other, and this and that and other. Well, what is the solution? That's the solution. So, I don't know, there's some people that's going to support that no matter what. And the reason why you have people that, that they support that is going to be very small. And it's going to be very small people that they hear the hype, but they don't see the other side. They don't think things through. And all you gotta do, and he knows that how can you do that is you move on someone emotionally and mix a little truth and mix a little with exaggeration. Mix a little point about something that is irrelevant to this is the problem. Okay, we need to change. This would be the wise thing. Okay, Dr. Umar, what do we need to do as far as, the child get HAD? Okay, what solutions do you have? Forget all about the rhetoric about Africans and all this stuff. Get down to the basis of the mental and medical problem. I didn't hear nothing about that. Not straight to the point. All he went to rant about, you got them up in these meetings, white psychologists, these doctors and psychologists and them. Okay, what is the solution? He's going up on his rhetoric, and then going about to go off on his rhetoric about his ancestry. And as a psychologist, it's not bringing no solution. Whether if it was a white or black or whatever. And there's plenty of black psychiatrists, and they know that. They know the problem. But they won't handle the problem. Not go off with this rhetoric or whatever. You're supposed to be paid someone is to solve the problem. It should be about the children. Not about all this other stuff and all this other nonsense. That's my opinion about it. It's like, what about the diagnosis? Okay, you said if it's not this medication, then what is the proper diagnosis? And this is something that really, if he's saying that he's a psychologist and all these 3 other titles, you need to be upgrading this to see how you're going to deal with these young kids with these problems. I don't hear about that. That's what would have been the solution. The reason why I showed the part about him when he was talking about that, because you see, I'm showing you the 2 flippy sides to him. Because he's pointing something out, and I'm let you see, and I allow you to see what he's saying. That's the kind of rhetoric he's spitting across the country. Yes, there's a certain demographic. We know that there's racism. That there's in some cases there are. In some places there are, unfortunately, like that. Okay, knowing that, what is the it's okay, separation. Now, once you separate, now you separate the black children from mainstream children, but they still got the but they still got the learning disability. They still got the behavior problems. What do you do for them next? And you just hear, and I just played about 5-10 minutes, and he's just ranting on some things. But not one. He didn't, and he's made a suggestion about that. About the exercise. There's a certain exercise you need to do. Is a certain hypotherapy we need to do. If you're going to wean these kids off of medication, what is it? But that's all. That's his solution. What data has it? What plan that you have? And these parents that I ask, they're just going along with this and going along with this, and thinking that taking a belt with punching someone in their chest and smacking them across the butt. That's the way it is. This is what I'm saying. And during that 10-minute rant, I didn't hear nothing about, hey, we're going to go this homeopathic way, or maybe we can do these certain exercises to help the child with this behavior problem. I didn't hear nothing about that. All he did was point fingers and went from one end to the other. Now this is what's going on. I'm going to play a little more of this. Watch this. I guess he didn't play the video. I guess they're doing a lot of talking. But what I'm saying is, what solution that a black counselor or psychiatrist had that know all these different elements? What solution that they did? This is what the black parent need to know. Okay, if the white counterparts ain't doing this, okay, when you take away from the white counterparts, what you gonna do about the problem? If you take away from the counterparts, did anybody will suggest something like that? What exercise? What is another medical way to help with these kids with their behavioral problems or with their learning problems or anything like that? Or is there any other way? I don't hear him say that. He just started blaming the system and this, that, and other, this and that and other. And really should be about solving the problem. Okay, if this is going on with the misdiagnosis with this and this and this, you need to pull your kids out of these schools, away from these white doctors and all this. Okay, let's say that they do that. What is your suggestion? He didn't even say nothing about that. And it's all I come out there, it sounds like to me, I come out there just to hear a bunch of emotional stuff, tell you about Africanness and insulting other black people that their institution is so-called Europeanized. Black people that do, we're just going to be Pan-Africanists, and then you ladies can't wear no fake hair and all this stuff like that. It doesn't make no sense. It really doesn't make no sense whatsoever. What is the solution? He don't have no solution. Just a bunch of personal opinions that he dealt with. You hear this? People are paying for his personal opinion, not what he specifically specified in. He give you a little bit of this and a little bit of this, and it's nonsense. This is what people are pointing out. This is what people like this guy was pointing out. Like, you on some kind of drugs or something, and just someone just you give put them on front, and they just say anything and just say everything and don't even have no solution. Especially when you say that you got 6 degrees and you anything. What is the solution? What is you going to provide for the parents? The alternative, you take them away from out of the schools and away from that we're not going to go to the right counselors no more. What is your solution? Because there had to be something with the kids. But this is what you get. Look, this is the other side of it.
So what is this? I gotta put my credit card in here? What I gotta do, family? We need this money. I'm about to straight roll because I'm gonna hit the service. I just hit the service. I'm gonna ask her to show me how this works. $1? Can I do a $1 bet? Excuse me, ma'am. How do you play? I'm not a gambler, but I'm gonna gamble today. How do you
put the money here?
Cash.
Cash.
How do you know how much to play? Or you just choose a random amount?
1, 5, 10, whatever you want to put.
Anything you want. Once you put the money in,
I'm gonna see the credit here.
I'm gonna see the credit there.
And then pay from $1 to $5. Right.
So these are all $1 bets.
Yeah.
Once I hit one, I'm pulling this.
Yeah.
And I need 3 of any one of them to come up. 3.
Line up.
If it lines up, what happens?
You can hit this best and win from $25 from $35 to $2.
In order to win anything.
Yeah.
So if I do anything under 35, I'm just playing a play. You ain't gonna win nothing.
You need 3 bars or 3 spin in order for you to hit the spin.
Okay.
If you don't get spin, so you don't win.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, you need spin
Yeah.
to win. So if I get 3 bars,
Yeah, you win $5.
okay, and how do you
Like
get,
the bonus is the spin.
and how do you redeem? Let's say I win $20.
Out and
They come right here. So you automatically get notified if I win.
I'm here, I just see it.
Okay. So I just let.
Man, this is sad. Someone said, is she African? She sounds like she has a Middle Eastern accent. That's what it sounds like to me. But Umar, he's live streaming this. It shows level of confidence. It also shows that he's very much dedicated to gambling. Instead of walking away and getting on your flight, he has to spend this money and try to. This is crazy. Yeah, I know. Listen, it's true. He is. I'm gonna say it that way, but it is what it is. He's burnt out. He's smoked out, and then he up here on top of that. He's up here gambling.
Let you know, hey, I won. Okay, I'm a blessed with it. Thank you, mama. So,
Then he calls her mama, huh?
I can't stand when you do that shit. And he say, Paul, what the fuck you talking about, bro? She don't know you. You damn near 50 years old, bro. The only person I call his mama is my wife, and my mama when I
gamble at the airport, bro.
Come on.
And live stream, and they gonna call this woman mama. What is going on? This is mama cooking, man, bro. What is going on here? This is y'all's friend. You ain't gonna hear me call the no woman mama except my wife and my mama. That's it. He's damn near 50 years old, calling a woman he don't know while he's gambling at a casino at the airport, calling her mama. That poor lady don't I know that poor lady, she probably looking at it like, mama, what is I ain't your mama. My son ain't gonna be up here gambling at the airport. All for other people's money. It's sad. It's ridiculous. Here we go.
Okay, I'm messing with it. Thank you, Mama. Thank you.
So we gonna play, y'all. We about to play.
I'm gonna put 20 on it. This is not FDMG money. This is my money.
No, you ain't got no money, bro. What are you talking about? I got it from the book sales. No, the way that you pay for books is through donations. I got it from my lecture. Bro, you're begging people to pay for lectures, and you've already stated how you've actually been paying for venues and shit. And then you up here paying, you're doing it in heated tents and shit, and 15 people show up. What kind of money are you talking about, bro? And it's all predicated on what? Book sales. So book sales, how do you order the books? Through donations. So yeah, it is. Everything comes from donations and it trickles down. Whatever level of addiction you're dealing with, whether it's substance abuse with this guy, whether it's a sex addiction, whether it is the food addiction, and yeah, maybe perhaps, and I don't know for sure, but he does gamble. Can I say conclusively that he has a gambling addiction? I can't say that, and I'm not going to say that. But there's some damn good evidence. Stop. Sorry. There's some damn good evidence. But everything trickles down from the money that he receives from donations. Okay, Jefferson, let him have $20. You got a point there. Good correct that too. We can let him have that 20 and we're not gonna say nothing about it, okay? We're just gonna let him have that 20. Let him trick it off on that slot machine. I heard one time I listened to the radio. Something like a radio. I was listening to the radio, it was talking about this casino. And the guy said, we have the best sluts in town. Come on down and win. Strategy and tactics in their lifetime that they felt would most likely lead to the freedom. Stop the goal with tactics. Non-violence for Dr. King was a tactic. By any means necessary for Dr. was a tactic. You don't believe the term tactics? Tactics are determined based upon the circumstances of the battle. If being non-violent won't win us something, we'll be non-violent. If being violent is going to win us something, we'll be violent. Stop making tactics the goals. The goals have nothing to do with the tactics. The goal is liberation. But let's be honest, most black people don't really want to be free. Because freedom requires responsibility. Black men, we really got to ask ourselves, collectively, are we ready for the white man to take back his welfare, his Section 8 housing, his food stamps, his medical care? Because the white man can roll up on us at any minute and say, black man, you say, we are undermining your masculinity by giving your woman all these free handouts. We're going to take them back and leave the hood. And as these men win, black men got to step up and fulfill what the white man took away. We got to be willing to do it. But let's be honest. If the white man left Las Vegas today, a group of Negroes will go get him and bring him back tomorrow. That's how much we love white folks. We are in love with white people. Oh, yes, we are. fathers, I call it. When those 204,000 black men fought in the Civil War, and that one black female general, the only woman in American history to lead troops in the battle, Queen Mother Harriet Tubman. After we won the war for Abraham Lincoln, we should have declared war on Abraham Lincoln. Are y'all following me? One of the greatest mistakes black people made in America, after winning the war for Abraham Lincoln, we should have declared war on Abraham Lincoln. We might have ended up with 4 or 5 states if I wanted. Because the U.S. Congress would have said, these Negroes was able to damn near single-handedly knock off the Confederacy. Imagine what they'll do to us. We might have a compromise. But because that white Jesus is deeply embedded within your subconscious, it's hard for you to declare war on the European. Because your Jesus looks like your enemy. And when you think of Jesus, you don't think of a black man. You think of a white one because that's the public image of the African mind. See, there's 3 Jesuses in the Bible. Well, excuse me, 2. There's Jesus Christ and Jesus Cracker. Some of you worship Jesus Christ. Some of you worship Jesus Cracker. And I want to make sure you understand the difference. Jesus Christ was born in the manger. Jesus Christ was born in the kingdom of Ethiopia. Jesus Cracker was born in the manger in Bethlehem. Jesus Christ was a blue black person. Jesus Cracker was a white man with blue eyes. Jesus Christ was hung on a tree. Jesus Cracker was hung on a cross. Jesus Christ was an Ethiopian revolutionary. Jesus Cracker was a metrosexual white man. There's a difference. That image of the Christ is still in the black home today. When I go to homes in New Jersey, I still see white Jesus. 400 years later, he's still on your wall.
Here's what you need to know about Chromebooks.
Now he's talking about Jesus. See, Jesus Christ, the white Jesus, you hear it, and the black Jesus is in. Jesus wasn't no Ethiopian. He was a Hebrew. That was number 1. And he's from Israel. He's putting half things with, you can see what's of color. Of course, because during that time in the region. But the way he put it is just, I'm just shaking my head. But people are actually clapping to that. I just want to show you. There are people across the country that small percentage of clap about that. They have no idea. But they don't show you this part when he's at the Gambling Casino and saying some things and they spitting out all his other rhetoric. And his people still fight for him. They still defend him too. After what you saw on there. Because that's someone using their emotions and getting what they want to say and getting what they want to hear instead of what they need to. And like I said, there's really no solution. He went from this back into that. They talk about what they have in their home, what their home life was like. Has nothing to do with the problem. He's not addressing the problem. But I hope that this video went too long, but I just wanted to break down the analogy. And he's listening to his lecture and seeing what he's trying to say. Is there any point Listen to it. It's been how many minutes so far? Hold on.
Chromebooks are powerfully simple laptops.
And so one of your assignments today in Las Vegas is to go home, take down the white Jesus, and burn it.
So 23 minutes of that.
And the reason I'm telling you to burn it is because if you sit it outside, another Negro will come and get the picture and take it home and hang it up. You got to burn the damn crap.
Now he talked about taking a picture of someone, a picture of Jesus. Again, what is 4 minutes into this? I watched this video. There's no solution about what we're going to do for your children. Since he felt that the medication that the white man had given you, what's the solution? Is it some homeopathic way? Is it something? What is it? How is there any exercise to work with children who have learning problems, behavioral problems? Any way to resolve the problem? In the 24 minutes of this video I listened so far, he has not mentioned nothing like that. All he did was just blame celebrities who marry white women, black women who marry white men. So what, you went under a white doctor. You're worshiping white Jesus. He gave you the history about slavery, and there's no solution. So he went all the way out there to Vegas to hear that. No, other words, no alternative way. So this video is 34 minutes long. So far, I haven't heard anything in this 24 minutes into the video of any solution on what the black children, how we going, if you take them away from the Main Street education system, which is the white man, according to Dr. Umar, how you going to counteract with something? Because you still got the children who have the problem, who was diagnosed with something, and it's properly diagnosed, who really do probably have some kind of behavior problems, which can probably be linked mentally. Two, it could be something that could have some kind of learning disability. What is the solution? All he does is give history, and you got knuckleheaded people out there clapping, in this conference in Vegas. Nobody, no solution. Okay, you're gonna do this away from the white people. White men, take back this. This is what you need to do. Take back. Okay, what is the solution? Everybody wants to spit stuff, but they don't have no solution. This is what people are saying. You move on people's emotions, and yeah, there's prejudice, there's racism, it's systematic racism. Okay, if you get them away from the solution, you get away from the prejudice, what you going to do to make it for just black people? What are you going to do? What is the solution? What's the alternative? Since you say that the mainstream education system is wrong, what is the alternative? He has not provided not one thing. All he did was just rhetoric. That's all he did was just spit out rhetoric. That's what you heard was just rhetoric. 24 minutes into this, a 35-minute video. And this is what people are paying for. This is what people are lecturing. And people are like, wow, the brother has some knowledge. He do got some truth mixed in there. But when I show you the other video, you see his actions on his personal time. Then they take his personal time and they show with the other side of, is this the kind of person who claimed that that's why he went out there, to see that they would invest in giving him some donations so he could supposedly go back and put towards the school, which is up under, and pay for his book, which I would figure would put something towards the school. Take some of that money. I don't know how he did successfully out there, but that's what you would freaking do. But yet he went out there to lecture somebody about nothing. It's just garbage. A bunch of garbage. No solution. And this is what you get. And people defended this. And the segment in black community defend that.
So, see, she's laughing at his ass because it sounds utterly ridiculous. See, she's wondering what he's talking about. I need this money for this. She's like, well, what do you need the money for? And then he goes on this. She's probably sitting there like this guy. This guy's a fool. This is how you're going to do it? A school that we're building in Wilmington, Delaware. I'm a school psychologist, and we're raising money. We have 2 schools. We're almost done the small one, but we need $1 million for the So. All right.
In order for you to win the million,
Yes.
you need to play 5. Now, if you don't win the million, it's okay. This one has to be here.
Okay. Now it's spun automatically?
Yeah.
So I don't. Okay, I can do it now. I can do it now. Okay. And how do I know how much money I have left? Credits.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? Let me do another one. We're doing another one. Do I still get the
Last one.
last one, y'all? $20 go that fast?
Yeah. Okay, try this one.
Try another one. Okay. Okay, Mama. Thank you. I'm not doing too good.
And he's calling this woman mama, and she got blonde hair. Just remind me of last week when Umar, that white woman with them big ass hands. he was trying to get him something to eat, and the waitress came over. She had the big ass hands. There was a white woman, and Umar was like, "Hey, gorgeous. Hey, mama." She walked. Look at this woman. She walking away like this. Mama call me mama. Let me get my ass up out of here. Look at her. That's that same woman that was walking by. Was like, "Yeah, we got a sucker right here." Notice how she said, "Look, come over here and play this one." You wasn't done. What you think he's just gonna do? Hit that thing and pull it twice, and he gonna be up out of there? No. That's no. Princess, his next video will be about how our own casino. yeah. We need our own casinos. We can start nation building today by donating to FDMG. You know what? What Umar should do is just turn FDMG into a casino. How so? You get to make the money to open up the school. Does that make sense? That's what you should do. Umar, just turn and trap vandals into a casino. There's enough space. You can get you a couple of slots.
I'm gonna stop the video right here. I don't want to bore you guys. But I just want to show you what this man has been doing with the money. And what he's been doing during his time out on the West Coast. And this is what the people are paying for. This is what they supporting. This is what they supporting. It's not really no solution. And this is his lecture.
Why we can't talk about economic revolution and political revolution
revolution and cultural and intellectual and spiritual revolution until it's a psychological revolution. If you don't kill the Negro inside, the African will never be resurrected. You have to kill the Caucasian living in you. All of us got the European in us. Every black woman got a white girl, every black man got a white boy living in you, trying to take over your country.
Yeah, we don't complain all night.
Have you ever seen the movie Alien?
Single mothers get in for free.
Alien is an excellent metaphor for post-traumatic slave disease. The alien is the white power structure. You are the victim. And what does the alien do? It goes to look for people, snatches them up, and then plants the seed inside. That's the Willie Lynch. And that seed sits there, you can't tell that the Willie Lynch is in the Negro at first. We still look like regular black folks. And then one day you wake up and the damn cracker busts out choice. They know what I'm talking about. What's going on? You have to this woman with this blonde hair over here.
Yeah.
Her hand.
He's calling a blonde-haired white woman mama. Oh,
Alright, thanks there, Ben. Yeah, it's the cooking. That's it. Umar, you're going to turn them trap battles into the cookie front casino. Every one of the good crust tat, you get in for free. Okay? Just let him know that you for the good crust tat, you can come home to the lean or honor. He'll get you in right away. He'll get you the VIP.
I'm sorry I made this so long, but I just want to catch what you were saying. The hypocrisy, the double-sidedness. And you're talking Pan-African stuff about the white person in them and stuff like that, but he compliments the white woman. And he said in the video, these are Pan-African stuff. You just call him a cracker and everything. You can't make this stuff up, man. It's a joke, man. It's a joke. Anyway, I'm gonna leave the video right here. But I hope you guys kind of enjoy what it is. I didn't want to make this too long because I just wanted to make the second video showing the video and his analogy on Umar, and he's spot on. And I just showed the video from another YouTuber's page that showed this is what he's saying. This is what the people across the country. He's going across the country with that kind of rhetoric. Again, it's supposed to be Dr. Umar Johnson lectures in Vegas. Here it is. Black Parent Advocate book release. Now, part of the black parent it should be, what I'm assuming, if you're getting away from the major system, is what's the suggestion? Within 20 is I have here not one solution for black parents. He went all into history, American history, religious history, and all these other things. Within 25 minutes of this video, not one thing about therapy, mental therapy, physical therapy, anything that whatever the different people in the mental psychiatrist field work with. There's no solution. It's all about the rhetoric. Stop wearing take the white Jesus picture off your house. What does it have to do with it? With the medical stuff. You gotta deal with the medical stuff first. And there's people paying, and they're just clapping. Again, they're not going towards the solution. They're moving about, and that's what you can do with some black people. like that. They just move emotionally. They don't think logically. If you know that your son is having a problem, a behavior problem, then get to the root. What is the behavior problem? It may not be just because the boy or the girl is just acting up. It could be something to it. Secondly, it could be a learning disability. Some children have different kind of disability. Some kids have LD. Some kids get what they call, where they can see letters back, behind. I forgot what they call that name, where you can't, where you see the letters and numbers backwards or something. Some people know what I'm talking about. Dyslexia, different things. What is the solution? And it can have a self-esteem problem. What is the solution? That's the solution. Not insult someone and tell them you got European this and European that. Forget all that. What is the solution? Okay, you see that there's a problem. What is the solution? And he's just spitting out rhetoric. And the primary reason why other professionals don't want to work with him, because that they know it's kind of foolishness. There's no solution. And whether they're black psychiatrists or white psychiatrists, they know that's a bunch of foolishness. Because you're not getting to the problem. You put your personal opinion, and you're not solving the problem. But that's all I'm going to say about this one. This video. But at the end of the day, if people want to support something like that, you can't stop them. Because at the end of the day, what the people get, what they see is what they get, what they money for. And you can't fix people that's unemotional. And that's why you have any kind of parents that's clapping out there and all that won't agree with them, that think, yeah, this is the solution. Then you need to be kind of scared. Your kids going to school with parents that come from that kind of background because they're not thinking logically. There's a bunch of emotional about the white man this, the white man this, the white man that. Okay, we know that there's a Semitic problem. But how you going to counteract with this Semitic problem when this individual still this child got the problem? Take all that stuff, you wearing European, you black women wearing European here. What does that got to do with it? It's solving the problem with the child. Again, no solution. No solution. That's why people don't take him seriously. That's why they mock him. Then he is that flippy side. And giving people is a bad look, like the young brother said. But anyway, my name is James. Again, sorry this video went on longer than it had, but I just wanted to show you that side of him. Till next time, you guys take care. And find someone who can have a better solution. If you're a Pan-Africanist person, black person, listen to this. Find someone with a better solution. If you have a child with learning problems, disability problems, or behavior problems, don't give it to someone like that. Bye bye. Be blessed.